So it's amazing. One of the things that you have here, which I want to discuss, is what's coming next as it relates to, we have the Agenda 2030. They've talked recently. I saw Klaus Schwab himself saying, hey, things are going well. Let's up our agenda from 2030 early. But what do we expect next? Censorship, even new bioinjections, shaming, calling Christians or others that just defy the narrative as being terrorists, crackdowns, division. I think false flags, food shortages. The false flag, I see that as well, because one of the things that I saw, like in Australia, you'd see these people getting beat up, getting abused, and they weren't able to defend themselves. It's against law down there to have weapons. And you think now how hard these latest shootings, creating these false flags and then blaming it on certain things in order to confiscate guns. The Second Amendment. Here we go.
I'm quite sure that most of the Prophecy Watchers audience knows what a false flag is, but just in case, because you're always picking up a bigger audience, but a false flag, goes back centuries to a term to refer to when ships, naval ships actually goes back to pirates. Pirates would actually raise on their ship a fake flag to make other ships that they were approaching think they were friendly, but then they'd come upon them and all of a sudden turns out they would be an enemy. And that became a technique that, by the way, is still taught to this day at the American War College.
As it should. It's a great, it is a great deceptive way of war.
So what you do is if you need people to get involved, and so later on, after the pirates made use of it, it became just a very common technique in war. It's still taught in the American War College, stand down orders and false flag orders. But essentially, we have some pretty famous ones in American history that came out 50 years later, like the Gulf of Tonkin, which got America into the Vietnam War. 58,000 soldiers gave their lives. And we know that incident never happened. It was a complete false flag, and so it's well documented. So
the Gulf War, really,
yeah, and the Gulf War,
the WMD, where are those?
Yeah, and the first Gulf War, the incubator babies.
Yep,
and that one is so blatant. They literally hired an actress to appear and testify before Congress, who claimed to be Iraqi and claimed she saw the soldiers pulling the babies out of incubators, and it later came out she was a complete Hollywood actress. So, they will do anything they need to the weapons of mass destruction.
Yep.
Colin Powell eventually admitted, he was lied to. That was never happened. So they will do what they need to do to get America behind it, and it's false flags. And that's what I think is probably coming next. And they're doing this, to your point, with the gun lobby.